Perhaps the cure for male loneliness is not harpooning sperm whales, but the root of the loneliness epidemic we face is due to the manner in which we've become conditioned to respond to everything. We are very reactionary, and our reactions are categorized on the deep oceans of the internet. We are not looking into one another's eyes and hearts. We are looking at our hands with our phones in them. We scroll along the day, in between, before and after the sun's traversal across our skies. It's cringe, I know. Sincerity is cringe. I think sincerely I would rather be cringe than remain afraid of posting what I want and saying what I want, and this is what I've worked on. Chapter 1, The Cause of Loneliness. Attention is the invisible currency of the modern era. The ocean of content is endless and forever undulating out of itself, but you are not. You are finite. A moment passes every second, and you can't avoid time's passages. You can only choose how. A study from NIH demonstrated that more time spent on social media was associated with more loneliness. Alright, video's over. Throw your phone in the trash. Subscribe for more obvious stuff backed by expensive science. Just kidding. We are all some kind of self-contained, independent study of ourself, and the study of the self is done alone. We're together somehow right now, but both alone, you and I. This is it. This is the reason for this loneliness confusion, is this relationship we're having right now. We are hanging out with each other, but we can't see each other. You can see me. I assume you're there, but I don't actually know if anyone's going to show up to this conversation. I was feeling lonely about a year ago when I started this video, when I picked up Moby Dick while I was renovating a bathroom. I was also missing friendship, camaraderie, and community in my actual life as growing up was happening. I have sometimes struggled with my own version of the modern contemporary male loneliness that's been memed into a joke and taken seriously and cringe and joked and memed and taken seriously. But loneliness isn't just a lack of company, and it is not a preference for solitude. It's a side effect of an inability to connect with others, feeling disconnected. Maybe even a preference for solitude that ensures prevention from exposure. I wonder if the impression of an overwhelming social media landscape has dissociated our cognition beyond recognition so much that we know ourselves less and less outside of comment sections, posts, stories, reactions, etc. We validate ourselves with our algorithm, and our algorithm validates our identity. And it's also not lost on me that as a person, I'm just not for everybody. And maybe people just don't always enjoy my company. No, that's not true. It's these damn phones. It's not like I ever see real people or that I'm chronically online, and I have a satisfactory, at best, social life, and I'm grateful that my work involves construction, but I have an online persona, and I'm in him right now. I do not behave like this in polite society. What about Moby Dick? We'll get there, we'll get there. The availability of interfacing with technology as a replacement for interactions in real life dulls the desire to interact, I think, and it gives us a watered-down version of connection. I think Rainer Maria Rilke said it best when he said, "We are solitary. We may delude ourselves and act as though this were not so." The option to feign company with a piece of technology has become a pathetic prosthetic of community and provides a delusion that you are not completely alone when you might be. It's all we got, though. It's where we're at. I'm gonna do this anyways. And I like it. I like making videos. I actually feel really comfortable and open to posting this kind of vulnerable, honest, rambling thing, and I would rarely talk like this to anyone except a camera. If anyone brings this video up to me in real life, I am going to be mortified. And that's kind of strange. As time goes on, the more friends fade away, the more books seem to show up in my life. Old friends retreat into the familiar glaze of my phone, and in a moment where I am not in the world doing worldly things, I do try to read or write instead of posting and scrolling. But I miss my friends, and the only rope tied to my waist and their waist as we jump into the ocean of life searching for meaning is our phone. Chapter 2. Moby Dick, or The Whale. Herman Melville's book about meaning, whaling, and as I like to see it, friendship. This video will not help you pass a literature class. There will be spoilers. I'll do my best to put up a text or something to prevent you from seeing them. And I give this book no stars, and stars beyond measure the same. I don't like rating books with stars. I just can't quantify the value I get from the book. I see it more that it says more about me than the book when it comes to the quantification of what I got out of it. Pretentious, I know. Call Me Ishmael is an instruction, not information. It's a CTA. Call Me Ishmael is like saying, hit the subscribe button. Like Ishmael, I have found myself before expecting something around the corner of every wandering street. But it's not streets, it's the scroll of content and information. I am beckoned by some curiosity that is never fulfilled, but always left with a morsel of curiosity enough for more on this endless scroll as I walk it so often, and images and captions and thumbnails and clickbait. It harpoons you in. And what do the men on the Pequod do with a whale when they bring one to the ship? They open its head and retrieve the junk. Moby Dick plays into the male fantasy of having a bunch of friends that you get to hang out with all the time and do stuff. There's something so inherently masculine about being on a boat and pulling up ropes. I've never done it. All it seems like I do, even when I get to see my friends now, is talk, and catching up is great. And I have immense gratitude for the conversations we sail on together, but the men on the Pequod had a task. They had roles, they had bonded together while working together on a task. I want that. You can't catch a whale on a canoe. You can't do it alone. Spoiler alert. Toward the end of Moby Dick, Ahab is revealed to have a son and a wife. He is abandoning them to pursue this white whale from which he seeks revenge and a completion of his life's work, his purpose, catching the white whale. The whale is meaning, purpose, nature, the answer to all great questions, resolution, completion, self-actualization, revenge for what pains you, taking back your power, proving them wrong, justifying your sacrifices, and an end to endless searching. In my reading of Moby Dick, I looked past the brutality of the whale dismemberment because I symbolized it as that meaning and purpose. It's not easy to come by a white whale. You cannot do it by accident. Chapter 3. White Whales. Ahab's leg was taken by a white whale from which he seeks revenge. Unfinished business. The white whale reminds me of feats I myself have attempted, but failed to fully achieve. I think many people have their own white whales. I intended to film a documentary capturing the American spirit as I biked across the United States, but I hitchhiked the last third, and I spiraled out of control on Adderall trying to edit this film. And I still think of biking that last third of the trip. I still think about finishing that movie. And there are more of these. I could go on, but I do not want to bum you out. Like Ahab and his leg, these pursuits have taken things from me that I cannot get back. Yet, I have times plotted my measly revenge. I thought that finishing my book, Hocus Focus, would complete me, and I finished it. I used to think there was life before Hocus Focus and life after, and the only difference between who I was and who I am now is that I no longer suffer with that limiting belief. Ishmael wanted fun and adventure. Ahab was past that. The older I get, the more past that I become, the more difficult it seems to have fun in the blissed, joyed way I used to. I think that's okay, too. It's okay to take the mature expression of pleasure into satisfaction and seek that. Ahab was beyond fun. Ahab wanted satisfaction. Ahab wanted his life to mean something. He already surely seen all the fun sailing had to offer, and he was on to more complicated things like mastery, revenge, fate, unfinished business, and personal self-actualization. Captain Ahab knew that memes, laughter, drink, and that kind of stuff wasn't where he was going to find the white whale. Chapter 4. Friends. I have friends. I do. I work for myself. I work alone by myself. I have a family. I have a good dog. But oftentimes I'm the only man around me. What really disappoints me is the reduction of time with my friends has become a meme reaction chain. You might know what I'm talking about if you're not a Mennonite. It's a group chat with a handful of friends that essentially expresses how we feel through memes and small videos created by other people we end up relating to and expressing ourselves through the art of media curation. Ding 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 ding. Hello?
Hey man, it's your friend.
Oh, you're calling me. That's awesome. I'm just making a little video. What's up with you?
Yeah, I know. I'm watching it right now on my phone.
How? It's not out yet. I'm literally filming it right now.
Hey, are you saying I'm a bad friend?
Not at all, man. I love you. I love our friendship. I'm just disappointed that like people don't hang out anymore and our communication is so centralized into memes, you know?
Nobody's gonna supply you with the unpaid labor to fix your loneliness. We want to fix ours too. No one's gonna be your friend without you being theirs.
I'm not asking anyone to reverse my loneliness. I don't even know if I really feel lonely, except for maybe a day or two a month, you know?
The video's weird, man. You're just rambling. It doesn't even seem like it's about Moby Dick. I'm beginning to doubt whether or not you even read the book.
Oh, I did. I read it.
Look, you gotta be in good company when you're alone. Then others will want to be in that same company.
What?
You're not lonely because of technology or any of that, really. Loneliness can only happen in one place, man. The call's coming from inside the house.
Huh?
You'll figure it out. And by the way, you should be grateful we have the meme group.
I really am. If I didn't have that, I'd have nothing. I know, this video is weird, and I feel weird about it. But I feel it's in the way of my next video, and I just have to get it out. I don't know.
For him who becomes solitary, all distances, all measured change of these changes, many take place suddenly. And then, as with the man and on the mountaintop, extraordinary imagings and singular sensations arise that seem to grow out beyond bearing.
I miss you, man.
I miss you too, friend. Think of what you have, not of what you've lost.
Hang on. Chapter 7. This. Us makers of content have white whaled our own virality online. People who make content want to catch a white whale. Idealized acceptance and support from the ocean of viewers in the internet, peg-legged by the bites of commenters trying to extract the junk of content from our brains. Those who lurk and never post as landlubbers are chained to their desk. And those of us who make the videos, we are the brave explorers who risk our lives to give you oil for this bedside lamp you hold in your hand. I am risking ridicule, embarrassment, exile, humiliation as we speak in the hopes that you feel a little less lonely or through a screen. That I feel less lonely too. That we can connect and share ideas. Maybe inspired to call up a friend or write a letter. Maybe that you'll put your phone down and read a great book like Moby Dick or Hocus Focus. You'll like, subscribe, and comment. And be my friend in this parasocial environment. And I hope you can do something to make this video worthwhile for both of us. I hope it even just made your day a little less quiet so you didn't feel alone, that you had me talking to you. And I hope I get something out of it too, because I've put a lot of work into it. Because I don't have to make this. And some would say I shouldn't have. And I don't know why I'm making this, really. I just have to. Why is almost every robust and healthy boy with a robust and healthy soul in him at some time or other crazy to go to sea? I just gotta do this. I'm ineligible for monetization on YouTube, and I don't have to do this. Ahab wasn't in it for the money either, and I'm not a young man anymore. I'm just a man, and I'm really grateful. Even if I've seen pissed off and resentful in this video that I'm not expressing gratitude, it's there. Ambition can be a tragic quality. towing the line between delusion, depending upon where it lands you, depending upon how you digest it, depending upon how you process ambition in the steps you take to actualize your vision. The whitest whale of all might be the present moment. It's not about harpooning and capturing it, or inflicting pain upon it and owning it and extracting from it. Just see it. Just let it pass. Expect nothing from it. Appreciate it without dominating it. Spoiler: it wasn't the whale that killed Ahab. It was the rope Ahab attached to it. It's the attachment that will tie you up and choke you, pull you out. It's the attachment that will get you. Attaching to the scrolling or not scrolling on the phone is still attachment. But what does scrolling on the phone even prepare me for? More scrolling. This moment. Don't be so extreme, man. You can just unwind, you know? Yeah, I know. It's like this, the ADHD diagnosis thing always has me trying to like be the best version of myself. And I want to be better than that too. But I also am good enough already. There is a battle, though, going on for the territory of your mind, and you need to stake claim for it. Let it go. Stop all the calls for revenge against my own destruction. Stop trying to capture things. Just be. Moby Dick is a masterpiece. The boring parts remind me that sometimes you can be bored and not need stimulation all the time, and it made the action so good. Sometimes nothing seems to be happening, but you can learn about whales in that time. You're headed towards something. You have to be patient. Chapter 8, The Cure for Loneliness. I went to see Interstellar by myself while I was trying to finalize this essay. I walked out of the theater and I wrote this down. And there I was, feeling bad at myself, looking all over the place for how to cure my apparent modern male loneliness. People to read with, people to skateboard with, to go on trips together, someone who wants to talk over the phone or meet for a warm drink, someone who has questions for me. The Pequod is a watery grave, but I suppose there's company. There are remedies for loneliness, and they are outside my phone. How selfish have I been to not see that I have the greatest cure there is for this. I have the same thing Ahab had, and almost neglected it just like he did. I have at times neglected my own gratitude for this. I have a man near me who loves to spend time with me, asks of me many questions, and is always ready to hang out. I have a son, I have a wife, I am a father and a husband, and I have a son.